home, Brooklyn, New York. It's one of the most culturally diverse places in the world, and you can feel it everywhere you go. Over the last few years and decades, though, the spread of businesses designed to serve an increasingly wealthy crowd have alienated people of color in their own communities. Hi, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're two daughters of Chinese and Taiwanese immigrants passionate about books, community care, and infrastructure, and access to resources. And our dream?
To open Yellow Peril Books, a bookstore, cafe, and community center celebrating the depth, nuance, complexity, and diversity of the Asian and Asian American experience. This place will be the first of its kind in Brooklyn.
Yellow Peril Books will be a second home for Asian readers, writers, and anyone interested in our stories.
And it's more than just books. We envision a hub where people can take events, workshops, engage in community programming, and it's just a place where creativity and culture can really thrive. Imagine a place where every visit feels easy and familiar, where you can discover new stories, bond with new people over shared interests, or just enjoy a comfortable space away from your home. This is a deeply personal project that brings together our personal values, commitment to community care, the work that we've been doing for years, and our long-held belief in the power of storytelling.
I've always believed in the power of stories, a belief that's driven me to work at advocacy organizations dedicated to issues like reproductive rights, gun violence prevention, and immigrant justice. When fighting for policies and legislation to be passed, my work centers the real and concrete stories of communities that will be impacted. Stories connect us to each other, our past, and project our future. We're committed to building a space that platforms these stories that give a voice to so many.
And we know how formative these stories can be to readers, having been raised by them ourselves. We've always sought out libraries and bookstores as places of refuge and connection growing up. I grew up fairly separated from other Asians in LA, and it really affected how I saw myself. Growing up, I felt like I was pushed to be Asian, or at times as I was entering school to be American, but I didn't really have a good foundation or understanding or example of what it really meant to be Asian American. It wasn't until I moved to Brooklyn or got older and started actually engaging with other Asian Americans who kind of shared what it looked like to live that way and what it meant to be Asian American that I really felt like I connected to a community and felt that sense of belonging. And I've continued to feel that way reading books from Asian American authors that have made me feel so seen, and I want to share that experience with other people.
We've seen how powerful it can be to find a book that speaks to your soul, that makes you feel seen and heard. That's what we want to offer anyone visiting Yellow Peril Books, either virtually or in person, that sense of belonging and community. And when the pandemic hit, unfortunately, that need became even more urgent than ever.
Our communities were not only devastated by the physical and mental tolls, small business closures, and isolation that many people experienced. We also became targeted by xenophobic propaganda that escalated into violence, all supported by a resurgence of old Yellow Peril narratives, fears of the Asians coming to ruin the West. I still remember attending a memorial service for Christina Lee on the anniversary of her killing. I went to the memorial in Washington Square Park by myself, going to mourn just because her death had impacted me so much in our community. And I remember when I was going there, I obviously started crying like I am now. And someone immediately handed me a tissue. And I looked over, and it was someone I had recognized from online AAPI spaces who has been famous for saying, "We protect each other." And in that moment, surrounded by these people, even in the face of such immense tragedy, I felt so secure in that community, and I felt like I belonged and taken care of. And that feeling of being in a place where you belong and with people who care and understand what you're going through was so significant for me. And we hope that Yellow Peril Books can continue to be a place where we see community empowering each other, and we aren't just surviving, but taking care of each other in order to thrive.
Yellow Peril Books aims to be a place where we can process these losses, celebrate our resilience, and learn how to protect and amplify each other through meaningful discussion and stories by directly impacted people. Neighborhoods like East Williamsburg and Greenpoint have increasing numbers of Asian-owned businesses popping up that create new, vibrant, and multicultural AAPI clusters around the borough. But we still don't have a hub for our community members to read, learn, gather, and be in community.
Your support will help us secure a brick and mortar that will serve as a home for these stories, a place where we also have cultural programming that helps facilitate meaningful conversations, important discussions, combat isolation, and bridge our community.
We can't do this without your help. Let's build a place where our voices are valued and our stories are shared. We can't wait to welcome you to Yellow Peril Books, your second home in Brooklyn.
For more information and to pledge your support, visit our Kickstarter page. Be a critical part in bringing Yellow Peril Books to life.